Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Chat with Dr. Celeste, MD. I'm your host, Dr. Celeste Reese-Willis. I am your board-certified family medicine physician specializing in urgent care. We assist busy professionals to find solutions for their acute and chronic medical needs. We do this via primary care, COVID-19 testing, COVID-19 vaccines, concierge medicine, telemedicine, through our Amazon best-selling book, Vitality. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, we do that through our segment on CBS 42 News every Monday morning, House Calls, which we had a segment of this morning. So that brings me to our topic for today. We're going to talk about the COVID-19 vaccines and the importance of that second dose and the purpose of each dose as it stands now. So let's just go ahead and get started. This is something that we started talking about on CBS 42 News this morning. That clip is available on our site as well as on social media. You should be able to check sometime later on this afternoon and be able to take a look at that segment. So take a listen. It's meant to help keep all of us healthy. And that's the point of what we're trying to do. So today we want to talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, dose 1 and dose 2. So why do we have so many doses? If you guys will recall, ever since we were little kids, there are certain illnesses, viruses and bacteria that we have to take several doses of. And it being more than one dose for a vaccine. I know that Haemophilus influenza is one of those. DTaP is one of those. There are several different vaccines that children have to take multiple ones of. So let's talk about what viruses do. So first, the first dose of any vaccine typically primes your body. It helps your body to create an immune response. With this particular vaccine, the messenger RNA, that's the Pfizer as well as the Moderna, they both send a message. All it is, the vaccine is a message to the cells in your body to tell it how to create an antibody to COVID-19, to that spiked protein of COVID-19. The second dose helps to strengthen that immune response. So the first dose kind of primes your body, kind of tells it, hey, this is what we want you to make. This is what it looks like. This is what we want you to help create to fight off this particular virus. The second dose is a booster, or more like an insurgence, to help strengthen that immune response. How far apart should you receive the doses? For Pfizer, we typically receive that 21 days after the first dose. For Moderna, it's typically 28 days after that first dose for their second dose. The second dose, however, may be given up to 42 days after that first dose. So this is a message for those persons that may be out there that may have only received one dose of your COVID-19 vaccinations. At this point in the country, there have been given nearly 172 million people are fully vaccinated, but there are greater than 30 million Americans that have received only one dose. This leaves that group of individuals less protected than those individuals that are fully vaccinated. With just one dose of the Pfizer or one dose of Moderna, you can expect 50 to 60% level of protection. When you get both doses, it increases it into the 90th percentile. So very important to make sure that you receive both of those doses. And you may say, well, why do we have to get two doses of it? Why is that necessary? Well, they found it comes right down to the science, to be honest with you. What they found is that with both doses, after a certain amount of time after that first dose, the rate of immunity to COVID-19 kind of plateaued. So the second dose helped to provide a boost of that immunity to a higher rate. So that's the reason why we want to make sure we get both doses of Pfizer and both doses of Moderna. Now, why do we even do boosters of vaccines? Part of the reason, or the main reason, is that a booster allows our immune system to remember a particular virus or disease. In other words, it's going to help the cells in your body retain memory of a virus for a longer period of time, therefore increasing your immunity to that particular virus for a longer period of time. That makes sense with what we're going through right now, because we're in the second year of the pandemic. We've been fighting COVID-19. In 2020, it's 2021, so we're still fighting it at this point. And so we started with the vaccines just this past winter, and we give boosters just because we want to retain that memory. We want your cells and your immune system to remember what this virus looks like, remember what those fighting cells are, and we want it to have more of those for a longer period of time. So that is why we offer booster doses of vaccines. So if you're out there and let's say that you're someone that has received one dose and you may be shy about getting that second dose, we want to encourage you to do that. The first reason is because, number one, it's going to help to protect you and help provide you with immunity. Again, with one dose, you're at 50 to 60% effectiveness. With two doses, sorry, the phone's ringing. With two doses, you're looking at effectiveness into the 90th percentile. So you want to get that dose to help protect yourself. Second reason you want to make sure that you get it is to help protect other people. It helps to decrease the likelihood of spread of COVID-19 throughout the community. The two groups of people we're thinking about the most with that are kids who cannot get a vaccine, as well as elderly persons, people that are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, reasonably healthy, typically will experience upper respiratory, cold, nasal congestion type symptoms, maybe a little cough, maybe a little fever, but not typically experiencing severe symptoms if they were to get a breakthrough infection of COVID-19. The vaccine helps to protect you in that way. In addition to helping prevent you from getting it, it can help to prevent others from getting it because you're more safely protected. The third reason, and the most important reason, is that we need to achieve herd immunity. And so we talk about it all the time, but we want to just make sure we understand exactly what that is. Herd immunity is when a large portion of the population has enough antibodies to resist the infection that's circulating so that that virus or bacteria or infection will no longer spread. So herd immunity is when enough of us have enough antibodies to resist the infection so that it doesn't have a comfortable environment to spread in. Now, the reason why we want to make sure that we do that, again, is what I alluded to just a moment ago, is because of the children. There are a lot of kids that are below the age of 12 years old that are unable to get a vaccine. So because they're unable to, what's important is for the people that are able to get vaccinated so that we help to create herd immunity or decrease the spread of this infection in the environment. The more of it that's circulating or spreading, or going around, then the more at risk it puts the entire community for. So achieving herd immunity is going to help the community as a whole and the population as a whole. And we have to just remember, the less that COVID-19 lives amongst us as adults, the less likely it's going to live amongst our children who can't protect themselves. They can't get a shot to protect themselves, right? So it's important for us as adults to try to go ahead and achieve that herd immunity and go ahead and get vaccinated. Okay? So that's all we had to share today. Anyone have any questions? Hey, Kimberly, thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're doing well. Any questions? Anyone have any questions? I hope that this was helpful for you. If you know anyone, now, and one question I want to answer, some people ask, well, I've only received one dose, so it's been this long. When should I get my second dose? Call your doctor or pharmacist immediately. Go ahead and get your second dose. We all know that Pfizer has been approved by the FDA, which means that it is a vaccine that can be given in the form of a booster dose, a third dose, and that has been approved at this point. So we want to make sure that everyone follows that. And the booster doses are in the realm of 6 to 8 months after you receive that first dose. Anyone have any questions? Hey, Kim, thank you for tuning in. That's my sister from Chicago. Hi, Miss Gaines. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your thoughts on Moderna booster that will include the flu vaccine. Hi, Ms. Parson. Great question. I have not seen the data on the Moderna booster that will also include the flu vaccine. I'm excited about seeing it, but I haven't seen that data, so I don't have an opinion about that just yet. I would need to look at those studies first before providing an opinion on that. what they're trying to do by doing that, and that will be revolutionary actually, is allow you to vaccinate for 2 different disease processes in one shot, which is interesting. When can we get the third dose? Okay. So yes, the third doses are typically at 6 to 8 months afterwards. It depends on when your first dose was. If I were you, I would definitely check with your physician or where you're vaccinated. We have started giving third doses to our patients and other patients. And at this point, I think it's kind of a free-for-all. But if there's anyone that has gotten a first or second dose with us, please, please, please definitely see us for your third dose. We'd like to keep all of your vaccination records kind of together and making sure that you receive all the doses that you need. Anyone have any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah, I'm real interested, Ms. Parson, about the Moderna booster that has the flu vaccine. That should be very interesting. I think it will be. As we continue this fight, I hope that everyone is doing well. Just a reminder, if you're out there, it's that time of season where it's starting to get cold, and we live in Alabama, so it's going to go back and forth for a while. So we want to make sure that if we're having any allergy symptoms, that we get those checked out to make sure that there's no sign of COVID-19. A lot of patients that have been presenting with the Delta variant, not all, but a lot, frequently will present with sore throat, little nasal congestion, and a lot of times people will assume, these are allergies, these are allergies. Let's just make sure, especially with the high transmission rates. Although good news, though, I saw that some of the rates in kids were going down from the reports from last week. So that is very, very encouraging. But if you know anyone that has just gotten 1 dose of their Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, please, please, please encourage them to get both doses. By getting 1 dose, you are not fully protected, and you leave yourself at risk with the Delta variant as well as other strains that are circulating throughout the community. Any other questions? So I hope this was helpful. We're trying to do our Let's Chat at a time that's a little more convenient to allow us a little more self-care on Sundays. So we're going to be doing this on Mondays at noon each week. So I hope this was helpful. Anyone have any other questions? Okay. Well, that's all. If you're in need of COVID testing or COVID-19 vaccinations, please give us a call at 205-291-8842. You can also make an appointment on our website at drceleste19.com. It's drceleste19.com. Thank you. Have a good day.